Alright, my bike has been in the shop for 2 weeks. So this is my first ride. I just picked it up from the bike shop. It's Wednesday, October 2nd. About 10:15 in the morning. I had a gap between meetings, so I actually booked an Uber to come over here. Trying to find the best way to get back home without getting in too much traffic. Whew. And the Lake Olympia crossover across Highway 6 is my best bet. People get so mad about people on bikes, man. It's funny. I have to be very aware of that. This is Highway 6. Very busy. We're in the Sienna section. Very busy section of Highway 6. Oh. The scary thing about these intersections are the sheer number of people that run red lights. And, you know, it doesn't happen every time, but I've seen the lights go from green to yellow to red, count 1 second, boom, someone runs it. So I'll have to be very aware. I need to do a little bike maintenance because my steering wheel is like 1 degree off. I just did a rough one outside the shop where I put the front tire between my thighs and bumped the handle. But it's not dead on where I want it. So when I get home, time to do a little maintenance. On the Uber ride over, the driver, you know, I told him that my bike had been in the shop. I wrecked it and blew out a tire. And they were able to fix everything and put the new tube in. And the Uber driver was asking me why did I have a bike? And I said, well, I've biked all my life. Like when I was a young boy, my dad got me a bike, and I just really loved it. And it's always represented freedom to me, because when I first got a bike, I could finally get out of the house and go where I wanted to go. Like, it wasn't just going with mom somewhere or going with dad somewhere. It was like, man, I could just take off down the road. And always liked that feeling as a young boy, and it just carried with me. So here's what's ironic about it. He asked me why I got it, and I said, well, the main reason I got it is I just like riding bikes. But the secondary reason I got it is to give myself some sort of form of exercise. Now, I realize this is an electric assist cruiser, So it's not the same as if I was on a bike that had no electric assist. But as I point out to anybody that asks, this has a torque sensor, not a cadence sensor. So it senses how hard I pedal, and it assists accordingly. You can even hear the motor. Like right now I'm coasting, right? A little bit of a flat land here, but so now I'm barely pedaling. Now listen to the motor when I start pedaling hard. It winds up. I don't know if you can hear that, but it responds to how hard I pedal. And it gives you some exercise. A lot of movement, but also exercise. And it's fun to ride. If it was a normal bike, I would probably still want to ride from time to time, but nothing beats how fun an electric bike is. And if you get tired or whatever, you can just go full electric. But the pedal assist, there's 5 different levels. Like right now I'm on level 3. I tend to float between pedal assist 2 and 3. It's a good way to preserve the battery, which my battery's at 39%. And it's a good way to, get some exercise. But the third reason I've got this is because my driveway is so full that I can't get in my truck and go anywhere. That's because we got too many grown adults living at my house. And my wife's 2 kids, my stepkids, like they're enjoying living there for free and mooching off my groceries and all that stuff. And I've been slowly trying to wean them off of just total dependence on me. Not that I'm trying to be a Scrooge or anything, but just to get them ready for real life. Because like they don't pay their own cell phone bill, they don't pay their insurance. I pay all that. Now my stepson, he just got a new Jeep. A new older Jeep, and he got his own insurance plan, so he's stepping off in the right direction. But his sister, who's a few years older than him and has a really good job, is somehow still managing to guilt trip her mom into paying for everything. But don't worry, I'm working on that. Again, it's for their own good, just to get them to a level of independence, Like I always tell Kristen, my wife, like, what if something happens to us? We've got 5 kids collectively. Like, what if something were to happen to us? God forbid. Who is self-sufficient and who would have their world rocked? And, it goes the whole scale. We've got some kids that are adults and doing really well and are probably going to be the ones I rely on when I'm really old. And then we've got some that are completely helpless and have no idea how to function. Like all is lost on them. They're still in that magical world where they try to BS and distort reality, and it doesn't work out so well for them. As far as like, where were you last night, or how come you're over there, and it's not just one. I got a couple that does that. As you try to mold them into young adults that can live on their own. And then when that part's done, hopefully, me and my wife can start thinking about retirement, what that might look like. At this point, it would be nice just for her to be able to retire. But right now, we got a lot going on. But this bike, here it is. I'm in my late 50s now, and a bike still represents freedom to me. I I don't have to worry about who's in the driveway. You know, because if I try to wake them up too early, it's like, oh hell, everybody's mad. You know, I just don't want to go through all that every time I want to go somewhere. And so having a bike where I can just roll out. Plus, you know, we have beautiful weather down here in Southeast Texas. And it just feels good to get out, get a little bit of exercise. Just the whole thing of being out here kind of clears my head. I sit inside on that screen all day, working in my spreadsheets and presentations, hosting meetings, and I love it. I love my job and working remote and all that, but it's good to shift my brainwaves in another direction for 10 minutes a couple times a day. Like I'll park this and charge it, and then in an hour or so, well, a couple hours, I'm gonna head out for lunch. I like to take my bike when I go out for lunch. I'm sure all the local restaurants are wondering what happened to me. Okay, everybody, until next time.